Peter Gasheru is still on the same, is the marketing chair of the National Olympic Committee of Kenya, and he's been involved in organizing major sporting events in this country. Peter, good afternoon. Thanks for making time for us here on Business Now. Have we invested enough in sports as a country?
Good afternoon, Yvonne. Definitely not. We haven't. We need to probably, Cynthia says, we need to probably create the right silos and divide who does what at what stage. I personally feel we need to put a little bit more effort in our grassroots and developing the talent. I think that's where the money needs to go for the next couple of years, and reallocate our priorities. We need to be spending a lot of more money sending teams who are not properly prepared internationally. And I'm speaking this probably just pre-COVID, and emphasis was on travel, allowances, and I hope I don't get into trouble for this. We need to now start looking at where is our primary school sport so that we invest there as a government. Then we wait for, as we pitch the right talents to the sponsors, they are able to actually be able to fund the next level. But everything needs to start at the development level.
Tell me, what's been your experience, and from that, what are some of the things that we need to start to do better? You've been organizing sporting events and marketing them as well, and also now on the National Olympic Committee of the country. What have been your observations, and how do we start to fix some of what you've seen?
One of the things is probably just the historic nature. Globally, the sport has moved from something that was a fun thing, a welfare sport that was being done just to keep fit, to business. And we need to be able to move towards professionalism. And I'm really must commend the current board at the National Olympic Committee for bringing in a number of marketers to form a marketing commission, which I had, to actually help them. What has happened in the past is that we had sportsmen, and when they retired, they took over the federation. And they didn't have the necessary skill sets to do the finance, the marketing, and actually just understand the global business. They could have been very good on the field, but not necessarily good on the business side. So sport now has to move, and we expect to see that. For sports to move to the next level, we need to see federations investing in the necessary skill sets, not just your coach, not just the proper facilities, but also looking at the business side, people who are able to give you financial projections, people are able to bring in the marketing aspects of the sport so that you can actually be able to fund it. And it's getting trickier and trickier now that with COVID. The pandemic has actually changed everything that we learned in the last 30 years. Now we have to rethink, as we started off the program with the various revenue stream, the ticketing has been completely wiped out.
Yeah.
Activations in the stadium has been completely wiped up with this. And look at us in terms of our TV production. You find that we're really lagging behind on TV production. So I don't think there's any federation right now in our country making any money from TV productions, and that's where we need to be. Yet we know that a lot of fans are spending time behind their screens watching sport. So we need to urgently move into that space, work with broadcasters to see how we can actually bring quality sports on our screens.
Indeed, and thank you for that perspective. Even as we look towards post-COVID era and how that has been disrupted. And indeed, some important points you raise is that even when you're having those who are in charge and making those decisions, that it's not necessarily former coaches who would be good, but also having people that can take it to a more commercial level. Peter Gasheru, the marketing chair, the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. Thank you very much, Peter, for your time here. We continue to talk about this some more. Remember, we have our poll that's running. We're asking you whether enough has been done to make this a profitable industry in the country.